At the edge of a noisy city lived a man named Aries who had forgotten how silence felt. His mornings began with alarms, his days were stitched together by deadlines, and his nights ended with glowing screens that refused to sleep. His mind was a crowded marketplace, thoughts shouting over each other, worries bargaining for attention, regrets lingering like unpaid debts. Even when he lay down, his body rested but his mind ran marathons. One evening, after another exhausting day, Aries stood on his balcony and watched the city lights flicker like restless stars. He realized something quietly painful. He had everything he once prayed for, yet peace was missing. That night, instead of scrolling through his phone, he remembered a line his grandmother used to say, "When your mind is tired, walk towards something that does not ask questions." He did not know what it meant, but it stayed with him. The next morning, Aries took a rare day off and boarded a bus that traveled beyond the city. He didn't plan much, he simply followed the road as it loosened its grip on traffic and noise. The bus dropped him near a small village wrapped in green fields and soft hills. The air felt different, lighter, as if it had learned how to breathe. As Aries walked, he noticed a narrow path leading toward a river. The sound of water reached him before he could see it, a gentle conversation between stones and flow. By the river sat an old man with calm eyes, carving a small piece of wood. He did not look up, yet he smiled, as if he had been expecting Aries. "You look like someone carrying a heavy bag," the old man said, still carving. Aries laughed softly. "I didn't bring any bag." The old man finally looked up. "Not the kind you can put down with your hands." Aries sat beside him, unsure why he felt safe doing so. The river moved steadily, not rushing, not stopping. After a moment, Aries spoke. "My mind never rests. Even when I try to relax, it feels like I'm failing at it." The old man nodded. "Most people try to relax their minds the way they try to control storms, by shouting at the sky." He handed Aries the piece of wood. It was a simple shape, smooth and unfinished. "Hold this," he said. "Do nothing else. Just notice how it feels." At first, Aries's thoughts kept interrupting. "Why am I here? This is silly. I have emails to answer." But slowly, the cool texture of the wood pulled his attention back. He felt its curves, the tiny ridges left by the knife, the warmth forming where his fingers rested. For the first time in a long while, a single moment did not compete with another. Relaxing the mind, the old man said, is not about emptying it. It's about giving it one gentle place to stand. They spent hours by the river. The old man showed Aries how to breathe with the water, inhale as it approached, exhale as it passed. He asked Aries to name 5 things he could see, 4 he could hear, 3 he could touch. Each exercise was simple, almost ordinary, yet together they formed a quiet bridge back to the present. As the sun leaned toward evening, Aries felt something unfamiliar settle inside him. Not happiness, not excitement, but space. Space where thoughts could come and go without colliding. Space where his shoulders lowered without being told. Space where time slowed enough to be noticed. Before leaving, Aries asked, "Will this peace stay with me when I go back?" The old man smiled. "Peace is not a place you visit. It is a way you return. Practice small kindness toward your mind. It will learn." Back in the city, nothing had changed, and yet everything had. The traffic still argued, deadlines still waited, and screens still glowed. But Aries began to weave small pauses into his days. He drank tea without multitasking. He walked for 10 minutes without music. He breathed before reacting. When thoughts crowded in, he didn't fight them. He watched them pass like the river he remembered. Some days were harder than others. The mind, he learned, is a habit, not a switch. But even on restless nights, Aries knew what to do. He would place a hand on his chest, breathe slowly, and give his mind one gentle place to stand. Over time, people noticed a change. He listened more. He smiled without rushing. He worked with focus and rested without guilt. Relaxation was no longer something he chased at the end of exhaustion. It became something he practiced in the middle of life. And sometimes, when the city grew too loud, Aries would close his eyes and hear the river again, steady, patient, free, reminding him that peace was never far away. It was always waiting in the next breath.